even the US, Donald Trump wants to get everybody back to work, come Easter. So, maybe too premature. Who knows?
Exactly.
Right, moving on. We turn to Russia now, where the coronavirus outbreak has forced the Kremlin to delay a public vote. Now, under new changes to the constitution, he could run for the country for another 16 years.
Yeah, but the referendum that would confirm amendments allowing him to stay in power until 2036 has been delayed. Julia Chapman has more from Moscow, where 20 years ago today, President Putin was first elected.
Protesting in Russia is never straightforward, but in the coronavirus era, it's nearly impossible. When Parliament voted to reset Vladimir Putin's presidential terms, Tatiana Usmanova was ready to leap into action.
Мы подали заявку на митинг на Сахарова на 50 тысяч человек, но нам запретили его проводить под предлогом того, что больше чем 5 тысяч человек не могут собираться. Мы подали другую заявку на 4900 человек, нам точно так же ее отклонили, уже не сославшись на эту цифру в 5000 человек, там просто какие-то были глупости, там просто нельзя собираться и все, условно говоря.
Russians are due to vote this year on constitutional amendments. If approved, Vladimir Putin could run for 2 more presidential terms. After 2 decades of his rule, many here have had enough. But others say in times of crisis, President Putin is the strong leader Russia needs.
Сегодня, исходя из вызовов, которые есть, и, если хотите, угроз, которые в мире существуют, не нефть и газ – наше преимущество. Как вы видите, и нефть и газ могут падать в цене. Наше преимущество – Путин, и мы его должны защитить. Спасибо.
The vote that could keep him in power was set for next month, but as the pandemic escalated, that date became increasingly untenable, and the Kremlin was forced to delay. Protesters say they understand the need to prevent the spread of coronavirus and will take their fight online. But while large gatherings have been banned, there has been no lockdown imposed on the Russian people, and social distancing isn't being widely practiced. From Monday, almost all Russians will be given a week-long holiday. But most people aren't staying home to stop the spread of coronavirus. And that's because the government hasn't ordered them to.
I think it's difficult to escape the conclusion that one of the reasons why the Kremlin has been trying to downplay the impact of the corona pandemic is precisely because they want to get the nationwide vote out the way. This momentum that they want to carry forward is incredibly important for them because it builds into this idea that Putin is in iron control of developments, of the narrative, of the agenda of change and the pace of change.
Russia's coronavirus numbers are on the rise, and further restrictions are likely to be imminent. So both President Putin's ambitions and the outcry of his detractors will have to be put on hold. Julia Chapman, CNA, Moscow.